My third pick for now is going to be Bruno Fernandes. And, Bruno Fernandes, because of how obviously we know he's Ruben Amorim's right hand man. It doesn't matter how um, the formation is going to be placed. Bruno Fernandes is going to be there. And we've seen Bruno under Ruben Amorim play as one of the double tens. We've seen him play as one of the midfielders in the double pivot. And honestly, I think he has performed the best he can. I think at the end of the day, for me personally, I think you would always see the best of Bruno whenever he has one more player in midfield. I don't think he's necessarily playing his best football as one of the two midfielders and the double pivots in this Amorim system, but he still makes sure that his quality shows in the game. And I think that for me, that's just evidence that he's a top class player. He's a world class player, because you could find yourselves in situations where the system doesn't necessarily complement you as a player,
Yeah,
and then what you then need to do as a player is to make your mark or put your mark on it. And I think he has done that in Amorim's system. So for me, it has to be Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, the goal contribution is impeccable. I think his goal contribution as a Manchester United player is absolutely amazing. He holds different records currently for United. I think he's one player who has scored the most set piece goals in this current United team. And I think in terms of combined goals and assists, he has the highest currently in this United team, obviously based on longevity in the team. But nevertheless, if United even did have a striker, I think Bruno Fernandes' numbers will definitely be up there with the
yeah,
striker, if not better, to be honest.
yeah.
So for me, my third pick is Bruno Fernandes.
And do you mind if I do my number three real quick, just for this one round? Is that okay?
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to just cut in is because you're speaking about Bruno Fernandez, who's also my number three. So I just thought for continuity's sake, let's just keep it going and just do the Bruno Fernandez segment. And the reason why, I understand the issues with Bruno Fernandez at United in terms of like, this is not his true position, being so defensive. He doesn't have those instincts. He didn't come up that way. But I'm trying to think that maybe, Amorim and Bruno himself are thinking about the future of his career in terms of like the longevity of what Bruno can do to be able to keep playing for many more years. And I think he has to be somewhere in that CM role where he has more control. Obviously, he sees the game well. He has many years under his belt. He has a decent amount of physicality that I feel like he can contribute defensively if he just develops the right instincts. A lot of the mistakes that he's making is like, passing on your man, moving on to the next guy, tracking your runners, those things. I feel like he should be able to learn. He could probably learn. I think he could, you know. And going off of like we said at the moment, United are better than, doing better than what a lot of people expected. And a big part of that is Bruno being able to get comfortable in that new role that he's playing. So, we're always gonna see the good positive sides of his game in terms of like goal scoring and all of that. But I think, more and more we're gonna see him improve in terms of like, passing and like controlling the play, controlling how things are going and defensive contributions as well. I just think he needs to develop, taking that breath in his game. I think, I can't remember what game it was that he did the first time cross into the box. Was it against I can't what game was that against Man U Liverpool or am I wrong? That he
Yes.
did like yeah, Man U Liverpool that United got the winning goal from Maguire, right? That's one of the best parts of his game where he can take that instinct reaction and play the play. But sometimes, it's not every time he needs to do that. I think that's he needs to be able to establish in this game, knowing when to go with that instinct versus not. Because that instinct created that crazy goal, but sometimes that instinct can give away the ball and lead to a counter. So that's my number three, Bruno, as well. And who's your number three?
So my number three pick is a Fernandez also, but not Bruno. It will be Enzo, the vice captain of the Blues. Played
Mm-hmm.
every minute this season, 4 goals, 1 assist, 2,000 plus league minutes in the last 2 seasons with 6 goals, 7 assists last season, 3 goals, 2 assists the season before that. In terms of his passes per 90, he is first in the entire Blue squad with 58.4 per 90, as well as being top for the the ball progression as well with 7.78 progressive passes per 90, which is up from 6.48 last season, and that has him at fourth in the entire league for his ball progression. In terms of his passes into the final third was 5.11 last season, 6.3 this season. I'd say he is somebody who he's not exactly a metronome. He's more of somebody who is tasked with having to play the ball through the lines, is like his main role at his club. But also what a lot more of a quality that people don't see will be his quality from set pieces. So free kicks, pens, as well as corners are where a lot of his assists have come from. And I'd say the main reason why he like took so long to properly adapt to Chelsea was because at his previous club, which was Benfica, he had been there for like 6 months, really. So he played about 29 games for them, and he played 17 league games for them. So he really hadn't really played for them prior to like his big move. So he like played there for 6 months, then he had the World Cup, and then moved afterwards. So I think that was the main reason why it's like took maybe like 2 seasons for him to like properly adapt. Yeah.
I think it's crazy that, off of that World Cup experience, off of that World Cup performance, they paid over like 130 for him. I think, see what ball striking can do. But yeah, that's one thing you said, right? His set piece plays, his ball striking is top class. And I think that's what, like, made them see something in him. But yeah, that was a crazy move.
Yeah. And just to finish off, I think actually like the ball striking and stuff is cool and all, but I think actually from the World Cup, that is a slightly overrated quality that he has. The best quality that he has to be from the ball progression, obviously, but also from his movement off the ball, which is how he's managed to a lot of his goals have been from like being able to make like the Lampard-esque runs to like the box and stuff like that. So I like
have seen.
yeah. So I really do like him a lot. And I think the most important thing to remember is he is just 24 years old. So he's not really in his prime yet. And I'd say per se he manages to get like a bit stronger. I'd say he'd probably be in like the top two by like 26, 27 season, something like that.
That's very doable. Because I think one thing I've noticed too when you said about his off the ball runs is he's finding himself in really good positions in the box. He's on the end of headers. With a little bit more practice and experience, he could be scoring, double digit goals every year on year, double digit goals and assists year on year.